Hi everyone, this is Heidi. I just wanted to do a quick video on a question that I keep getting about secondhand stress. So with the new book coming out and talking about stress addiction, I've had the opportunity to share a lot about how stress is addictive and why it's addictive. But one of the topics that people keep finding interesting is this notion of secondhand stress and if we can pick up stress from people around us. And I would say absolutely 100% stress is very contagious. In fact, I think it's more contagious than the flu. And the reason I say that is because you can pick it up from a distance. You don't even have to be in someone's space to pick up stress that someone else is carrying. In fact, you can get it on the phone, you can get it on Facebook, you can get it on email. And you can get it when someone just walks in the room. I think we all have people in our lives that feel a little bit like Tasmanian devils, and they walk in and just carry this whirlwind of stress and chaos around them. Now, I'm not saying those are bad people, and I'm definitely not saying that you should kick them out of your life. In fact, you might be one of those people as well, so that's something to think about. But I do want to share a couple of tips or ideas with you about how to deal with secondhand stress. So the first thing is just an awareness of the fact that you can pick up stress from other people. The brain is very, very sensitive to threats in the environment. And one of the ways we're wired is to be able to read people's nonverbal, to listen to the tone of someone's voice, to the word selection that they're using. We also can have our mirror neurons in our brain fire in response to someone else's behavior, someone else's emotion, which is pretty amazing to me. So we can feel what someone else is feeling. This is a great thing for being able to be compassionate with people, to be really in tune with how they're feeling. But it's also a little bit dangerous when we're sensing that someone is stressed, because our biological rhythms will start to mirror theirs. So things like our heartbeat will start to increase, our heart rate will start to increase, our breathing patterns will get more short and shallow, and suddenly we're experiencing the stress response physiologically just because someone else is experiencing stress. It's one of the amazing things about the human system. We don't even have to be under real stress to have a stress response. We can just imagine that something is going on, and the same things happen from a chemical perspective. So the first thing to do is to become aware and to ask yourself, is this mine? Is the stress that I'm feeling right now mine? And if not, then you go to the next question, which is, can I help? So hopefully you are a helpful person, but what can happen a lot of times is we want to help everybody else and we're really depleted. So if we don't have energy, if we don't have time, we're going to feel really stressed trying to constantly help other people with their stress. So I think it's realistic and important to take a step back and think, can I help? You know, maybe you need to take a break. Maybe going for a walk is a great idea. Maybe you don't even talk about the stress, but you help by watching a funny video on YouTube or having a conversation about something funny that happened this weekend. You certainly can help reduce someone's stress levels by giving them a break for a moment or lightening the mood a little bit with some humor. But if you can't, if you're feeling low on energy, if you're feeling stressed already, then it's important to move to the third step, which is to make sure you're setting clear boundaries. So the first question is it mine? If it is, then you want to figure out how to deal with that stress. That's another topic. But if it's not and it's secondhand stress, then can I help? Meaning, am I able? Am I able and willing to help? If so, there's some things you can do, like lighten the mood or go for a walk or take a break. But if not, then you want to think about setting boundaries. So are there ways that you can create boundaries for yourself in your work environment, like having focused time so you're not being constantly interrupted, or even email? Really important to schedule times to check email so you're not constantly being bombarded and constantly pulling up secondhand stress via email from colleagues or clients of yours. By having it more focused, then you can go into it when you're ready, feeling energized, deal with the things that need to be dealt with, and then turn it off again, which ultimately creates oscillation. So for me, when it comes to stress management, whether it's secondhand stress or it's your own stress, super important to be thinking about ways you can oscillate. The stress in our life is not going anywhere, so we want to be able to build our resilience so that we can handle stress more effectively. And the way we do that is building in periods of rest where we're not dealing with stress, where we actually give ourselves a break to recharge our energy so that we can go back into the stress, ultimately having more oscillation throughout the day. You never want to flatline your way throughout the day. So don't get up and go and go and go and go. Make sure you're building in those ever critical recharge breaks for oscillation. So there are my ideas on secondhand stress. I'd love to hear your thoughts if you have any, if you're struggling with secondhand stress, as well as any suggestions or tips that you have for other people that might be dealing with secondhand stress in their lives.